Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and something called the Great Scam. The Great Scam was the day that the male of the species convinced the female of the species that it no longer needed to prove itself worthy in order to reproduce and have babies. But the fact that the men are ugly says otherwise, right? They're not supposed to exist. They're supposed to be cannon fodder to the strong, attractive men who are worthy of having babies. So while y'all are out here being like the men don't take care of themselves, that's why they're unattractive. No, you're fucking a 10,000-year-old genetic anomaly. He's not supposed to exist, babe. Like, there's no amount of moisturizer and sunscreen that will change the fact that his great grandma should have fucking swallowed him. Like, we are out here fucking and making babies like we're a goddamn endangered species, but the breeding stock is foul. And that's why most men are ugly, okay? They DEI'd themselves into someone's grandma's coochie, and now we are all forced to deal with the consequences of that. Sucks.
Whoever in that house of hers that's hiding the mirrors needs to be arrested. It's detained. Didn't she like when she was recording like look like damn? I'm talking about myself. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm convinced, and this is not a shot at women, but I'm convinced when something is not going their way, they create ideas and ideology in order to make themselves feel good. Let's say, for example, I was on the internet and I was reading how women was like saying men go for young women because they can control them and manipulate them. I'm like, why? Why are you talking manipulating like magician? Something like what? Boo. But it's not even that. You know what I mean? And there's some people who say older women come with baggage, all this stuff. I don't think that's true. If you ask any man, they've talked to a lady who was into them, and especially most of them are younger. When let's say when you were like 20, and then maybe you are dating somebody who's like 19, or when you were 17, 15, you could realize that she was into and she was like following your program, like she was liked you and she was listening, and it was just easier to be with them. So it has nothing to do with deceiving and controlling. No, it's just somebody who's listening, who brings peace, and it's like, you know what I mean, not too much struggle, and it's like damn, you're supposed to bring peace into my life, you know. So I feel like most of them do this stuff, you know, they create ideology. So for this lady, I think she's getting cooked in her love life. That's my theory. I'm not saying it's true. It can be. So she's creating these ideas so that she feels like okay. And I don't know if there are some people who will be like yes, like bro. I already stated this that if you listen to bullshit and you can't differentiate if it's bullshit and it's the truth, then you have a problem. You're just a person who follows the wind. You know what I mean? Wherever it blows. And what else? Hold on. And this was on my theory. It actually mentioned it. She said most men don't take care of themselves, and that's why they are unattractive, and it's untrue. But there's a truth to that. They just wake up, they don't dress, they don't take good ass pictures, they just living, and they have an advantage of that on their side because they do makeup, earrings, different bags, and all this stuff. So they have an advantage in dating. Like that's why they get this multiple choices. If you were to wake up like a boy and do nothing, do you think you'll get the same attention as the boys do? Like no, will you get the same attention like the ones you do now? Do you? You can try, and I don't think so. You know that taking care of yourself is what matters and makes you stand out. You know, but that is untrue. And mind you, so you have this advantage, but you're not seeing it's a blessing because even though men are good and all, but sometimes they can be assholes. And we've seen it with how when they get power and when they get money or famous, and how they are like the relationship with them is not easy. Y'all really want to tell me y'all want them to get that power that y'all guys have? No, you guys will be cooked. people don't believe me. You do not want them to figure that out. They just live their life like normal band, all this stuff, and it's already started with the black pill and everything. You guys are gonna ruin yourselves, and you're gonna be so cooked because you guys literally have no idea. Like, if they start taking themselves, most of these people look good. And I saw this. Somebody said, "Oh, men are complaining, but they don't want to change. They don't want to improve themselves to fit into our schedule. Like, they don't want to match us. You know what I mean? They don't want to improve themselves." I'm like, babes, listen. If they do, are you sure you're still gonna be their type? Are they still gonna want you? Because this is gonna be another them, you know. But the people are not thinking about that. You know what I mean? So I pray, because I said, like, the relationship, marriages, we are so cooked because men are starting to figure out. They're starting to how do you say? They're starting to learn how to live by themselves. I literally met this guy and he was like, Atlas. He said he doesn't want to do anything with relationship. Dead. It was like nothing. If they bring robots, and the robots, you can imagine, like, right now they can like give birth. The only thing they don't have is emotion. What else would they will they need you guys for? Okay, they will create male also robots for you guys, and then now we have robot babies. Like, we are so cooked. Yeah, have how to change it, and we should stop that. You know what I mean? We are all gonna cook ourselves. That is not good. You know what I mean? So I pray that something happens and change it. But yeah, but like I said, like, yeah, do realize that most of these men do not do this, but if they do, most of will be so cooked, literally, because they won't want you guys. You know what I mean? Because you already hit your peak, but you can imagine for them it's unknown. We don't know what they are capable of. And if they can, this is something new. People are always amused by something new. And you're really cooking yourself. So yeah. And if I'm not wrong, I feel like some of these people who are not satisfied with themselves, they wake up and they just want to spread negativity. I always said, if you find yourself talking about other people, your life is not doing good. By that I mean talking down on people, because most successful people wake up and they're thinking about themselves. How can I improve myself? How can I do this, that? She will have hit the gym. She will have, like, you know what I mean, improve her style. And I'm pretty sure she won't be saying all of this if she was focused on herself. Put some nuance, styles, hair. She can also look good as an older woman. Like, you know what I mean? You can always improve yourself. So, but winners focus on themselves and the losers focus on the winners. You know what I mean? So if you ever find yourself in this situation, please, like, make sure, like, sit back and be like, yo, something's not good in my life, and try to change it. You know what I mean? So I'm usually like baffled, like, these people are so concerned with other people, but now I get it, like, it's like they're not doing good. So yeah, tell me what you think about this situation. I don't think guys are that shocked. I think they can improve, but it doesn't matter to them, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's the better for women, like I said, because if they figure it out, then they're gonna be in trouble. So tell me what you think in the comments.